Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, I'm working way too hard for this? Well, what if I told you the problem isn't your job or even your spending? What if it's all in your head? Okay, let's dive into the 7 invisible habits that are secretly keeping you poor.
And this right here, this is the whole game. Seriously, forget about complicated spreadsheets for a minute. The biggest financial battles aren't won on a calculator. They're won, or lost, right between your ears.
You know, the reason most people struggle with money isn't because they're not trying hard enough. It's because they're caught in one, or maybe even a few, of these 7 mental traps. Think of them like hidden scripts running in the background of your mind, quietly making almost every money decision for you.
So let's get into our first category, the traps of inaction. These are the ones that just keep you stuck, totally frozen. They're all about being paralyzed by fear or maybe by the siren song of staying comfortable, and they stop you from ever really getting ahead.
First up is the big one, fear. You know that little voice in your head that's always whispering, play it safe, don't invest, it's too risky, don't start that business, what if you fail? But here's the crazy part. Playing it perfectly safe is actually a guaranteed way to lose. You lose to inflation, you lose out on opportunities, it's a trap. And this is where you see the huge difference in thinking. The broke mindset is all about playing defense, just trying to protect every single dollar. But the wealthy mindset, it's all offense. It sees money as a tool, something you put to work to go out and make more money.
And that's really what it all boils down to, isn't it? Every single person who has ever built real wealth had to look fear in the eye and take a calculated risk anyway. They chose courage.
Okay, so if fear is one enemy, its very sneaky cousin is the addiction to comfort. Look, our brains are literally wired to find the easy way out, the path of least resistance. But wealth isn't built down that path, it's built by doing the hard things, day in and day out, especially when you don't feel like it.
This lays it out perfectly. It's a choice we all make, every single day. Do you hit the snooze button, or do you get up and work on your goals? Do you order the easy takeout, or do you cook at home and save that money? Every time you pick comfort over discipline, you're basically casting a vote to stay right where you are.
All right, let's move on to our next category, the traps of impulse. Oof, this is where your desire to feel good right now gets into a knockdown, drag-out fight with your long-term freedom.
Ah yes, the I want it and I want it now trap. This thing is a total silent wealth killer. It's that voice that says, just put it on the credit card, or I'll start saving next month. What it's really doing is trading a tiny moment of pleasure today for months or even years of real financial progress.
And this is the secret strategy. People with wealth get this. They understand that delaying gratification isn't about depriving yourself. It's about making a strategic trade. They're happy to trade a small temporary pleasure for a much bigger permanent reward down the road. And that reward is freedom.
You know how this goes. Had a great day at work? Let's go shopping to celebrate. Had a terrible, awful day? Let's go shopping to feel better. This is the emotional spending trap. It's when your credit card basically becomes your therapist. You're not buying things, you're buying a temporary escape from how you feel.
And here it is. This is the move that changes everything. The wealthy mindset builds a firewall between feelings and finances. Money decisions get made with a clear head based on a plan, not on the emotional roller coaster of the day.
Okay, our third category goes a little deeper. These are the traps of perception. This isn't just about what you do, it's about the fundamental stories and beliefs that are driving what you do.
This one often gets programmed into us before we even really know what money is. It's that deep down feeling that there's just not enough to go around, that resources are limited, opportunities are rare, so you start to operate from a place of, I can't, instead of asking, okay, how can I?
Do any of these sound familiar? I mean, really familiar. If you grew up hearing these kinds of phrases all the time, you might have inherited a scarcity mindset without even knowing it. The wealthy learn to flip this script to one of abundance, where they see opportunity everywhere. Want to know one of the fastest ways to guarantee you stay broke? This is it. Trying to look rich. This is the trap of buying things not because you love them or need them, but because of the status you think they'll project to other people. I want you to burn this line into your brain. It is so true. The person driving that flashy car might be drowning in debt, and the person in the plain t-shirt, they might own the entire building. Real wealth doesn't need to shout. Okay, let's look at our final trap, and this one might be the most practical of all. This is all about what happens when you just kind of leave your finances on autopilot and hope for the best.
I want you to really honestly ask yourself this question. Because most people who think they have a money problem, meaning they just don't make enough, they actually have a planning problem. And that's the final trap. When you don't have a plan, your money's like a ship without a rudder. It just drifts. It gets blown around by every impulse buy, every random expense, and it ends up everywhere except where you want it to go. A budget isn't a cage, it's a map to freedom. So we've identified all 7 of these traps. But look, just knowing about them isn't enough, right? The real power comes from reprogramming your mind. It's about realizing that you can actually change these patterns. The focus has to shift from your bank balance to your internal operating system.
Just let that sink in for a second. This is probably the most empowering idea we've talked about. Your financial situation today is just a result. It is not a life sentence. The cause is your programming. And the amazing thing about programming is it can be rewritten, and you can start today.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question. Be really honest with yourself. Of these 7 traps we talked about, fear, comfort, instant gratification, emotional spending, scarcity, social comparison, or just having no plan, which one really hit home for you? Because identifying it, that's the first, most powerful step you can take to finally escape it.